Adrian Amos at Pocahontas State Park. We're a week-ish away from the 2025 MonsterCross race. 50 miles or 25 miles on gravel, a little bit of pavement. This is where the start line is. Come down here, I have the privilege of living close enough to be here kind of whenever I want. So I thought I'd take a lap, kind of review the course itself, course conditions, how they may be different from previous years. So hopefully, this is your first time doing MonsterCross, you're coming back, there'll be something in here for you. Hopefully the cameras and the batteries will last. I'm going to annotate some stuff and talk about what to watch out for, where things are going. And if you're watching this and you look down at the total time of the video and you think, holy crap, what a lightning lap. I have heard rumors, so I'm going to ride those rumors, that the course has been shortened up a little bit this year. So we're on it, going through start finish. Start with a road section here. This is the least interesting part of the entire loop. But the one thing I'll start with is I'm going to ask you, please, if you're not planning to try to compete for a 3-hour or less finishing time on the 50-mile race, please do not grid up at the front and try to attack through here. Please also, if you are just here for the vibes, recognize that there are people behind you who are trying to compete for a 3-hour window. And if they come flying by you, please don't tell them that you can't win or lose the race in the first mile, because yes, on this race you can. The opening salvo through this road may not be particularly fast. I'm only going 17 right now, 17 miles per hour. But if you're stuck back behind 300 people trying to find a way through an 8-wide group here, your race is over. I have buried myself more times than I'd like to think, getting to the gravel, trying to chase back on, just to be completely blown up by mile 7 or 8. So again, I love how many people come out. I love the spirit, I love the environment. But if you're not competing for a fast time, please give some folks some space to get by you. Please. And don't fuss at them. Everybody's goals out here are different. All right, so into soapbox. Right before we get to the actual gravel, talk a little bit about what I'm riding, why I'm riding it. I've been doing this race off and on since 2016. I have actually a very interesting history of MonsterCross. That race in 2016 was still the only race I have ever just gotten off the bike and abandoned. Got this bike not long after, and almost nothing has changed on this bike in the last 4 years. I'm on the same 700 by 42 WTB Resolute tires. I have changed wheels, but the wheels are nothing special. They're just really fat. So the internal rim width, it's like 21 millimeters or something crazy. The proper mountain bike wheels adapted to gravel or 12 millimeter free axles. Anyway, nothing special. Scram forth, stupid aero bars. So I wasn't going to run this year, but I did a lap of this course just the other day, and I was real beat up by the end of it. If you're on the fence about aero bars, or if you have strong opinions about them, just know, for old people like me, they give us more position so we can just be comfortable riding the bike. Don't get upset about it. All right, anyway, here we go. Pavement over onto the beat of this thing. Most of this course is fire road. You might call this double track. It's mostly worn in gravel that's been here for a few years. This is where I see people trying to put in big efforts to get back up to the front. I don't know if you can see them. Middle lane are big chunky rocks and big chunky roots. Watch for those. But you can absolutely be aero here. Maybe not on the first lap, because you're going to be in 3 lanes wide, but the only passing space will be in the middle. Try to avoid getting caught by the slower group. Your goal is to be quick. because this is a mixed-use facility at all times. So you kind of walkers, runners, and then people go the other direction. Absolutely normal on race day. Find yourself absolutely red line through here. It doesn't look steep, but it's steep enough to get you. Alright. Alright. Our first couple of turns are left turns. You'll always have a bridge after your left first two turns. Once you have passed two bridges, you've crossed two really scary bridges, you will turn right your next turn. Two lefts, two bridges, right. That is the easiest mistake I see people making out here. Another note on the tires, 27-ish PSI, but all right, first left turn coming up. So this one's kind of easy. There's a PVC pipe in the ground. If it's wet, it'll be more exposed. Watch for it. Don't hit this tree. Roots, they're more evident on the right. There's a nasty cluster right here. On the left, drop, drop, drop. Clear of roots. So, I mentioned that course conditions have changed a lot. The weather is going to be a big factor for this race. We're not much more than a week away right now, and there is rain almost every single day in the forecast between now and race day, including on race day. And it's expected to be pretty cold. So, in the times I've been out here pre-riding this, I've been trying to make sure that as much as possible I'm here within 24 hours of rain, see what that does to it. And if you're coming back to this course, by the way, left turn. If you're coming back to this course, maybe you haven't done it in a while. A lot has changed, especially along Beach Road and the Finley Station Trail system up at the north end of the course. As I mentioned, not be a complete lap because I'm expecting to skip the damn descent. And I'll talk about why in a little bit. Here comes our first scary bridge. Thank you. Okay, so that was really not that scary. But there's a sign at the top of the hill for each one of them that says riders dismount. You will see a lot of brake checking there if you're in a group. The second one has a much more awkward approach. Alright, so we've done a bridge. That means we have another left turn coming up here because we have not done two bridges yet. Will be in pace lines, guaranteed. Whether you're competing for a top 10 or just mid-pack, pace lines will continue from the start all the way through to at least the dam. And depending on what happens race day with the dam, they go a lot farther still. All right, this is a sharp left. Approach it from the right, cut across, open up your lines, exit track right, no breathing off the gas, just keep going. Start to see these tire rut lines here. gravel here has not been replenished for quite some time. It's a little questionable. When I've ridden it in the wet, my tires are fine. Here on cyclocross tires, maybe narrower. I don't know what to tell you. Watch out for deep tire rut lines. Like right here. On race day, this might be interesting if it's wet. The thing to note about them is that, again, this gravel just hasn't been replenished in ages. So where you're getting ruts, you're digging into actual dirt. Here's a bad one right here, right in this little light turn. Another set of them. For the reminder that there is a quasi-sharp turn. It's not technically a turn because there's no other way to go, but now we got our second descent, second bridge. This one's a little sketchy. It took down a very accomplished rider from the region a few years ago who had to leave the course with a broken shoulder. So maybe a little bit of break. Watch these bolts if they're wet. Sharp, long, uphill. This is one of the first separating tests on the course, right here. Once you get past this little sharp rise, turn right-ish, you just kind of keep grinding for a bit. Usually one of the first times, well, I guess second time actually, I looked down to see zone 5. Tire lines. But it's so wide and it's so clear. You shouldn't have any problem finding space for yourself. We've done 2 bridges. That means our next turn incident should be a right turn. Let me not eat crow on that. Okay, yeah. So this part right here, of course, will be split into 2-way traffic on race day. When you're riding out, just stay on this side. When you're riding back, be over there. Not a huge challenge because there's a lot of tape to show it. But I can't remember if it was last year or the year before. I think it was 2023. I spent so many matches trying to catch back up to the lead through. And as I caught them, they ran into the tape. And about 15 people either went down or got stuck on the wrong side. Howdy. That was it. That was my race. The whole thing was over. 7 miles in. So, be cautious of the 2-way sections. There are 2, one here, one at the north end of the course. This one's much longer, more tire ruts. These were actually bad in the wet the other day. Side here, that's a scary descent, especially because you know you're coming around that curve a little blind, fast, and there might be people coming up the other side less fast. So watch that one. Hopefully we'll remember to mention that again. All right. Approaching the end of the 2-way zone, go at the bench. on race day, which is the better line. And this one, it doesn't really matter. No massive improvement over there. Just go where the group takes you. Okay, here, it's better over there, but it won't be if it's wet. Okay, here we come. Right after these holes. See how easy it looks? You want to go straight. It is not the right thing to do. You gotta turn right. This section used to be really favorable to mountain bikes. This drop up here, a lot of routes across it. They've been improved, some have been removed. There's a section or segment on Strava called I eat skinny tires for breakfast, or water bottles and skinny tires. That's not the case anymore. A lot of tire ruts right through here. But once you hit this downhill, you just go for broke. Don't touch brakes. Scary as crap. But they've improved the line significantly. So it's not dangerous to do this. I promise. I just did it for the first time the other day. Try and keep my guts up. Yeah, there we go. There we go. No brakes. Sharp rise. And then we're going left. Get a lot of separation right there if you can manage to stay off the brakes and ride in a group of folks who also know to stay off the brakes. The group size will drop in half. All right, this whole section up here, a 1% rise right here, but this is flat-ish and mostly fast. But once we make the next left, we'll be tracking along Beach Road, and that turn itself is terrifying right now. It's not going to be better on race day. A lot of deep ruts right through the face of the turn. Not sure what the best line is yet. I've only ridden it twice in the last couple of weeks, but hopefully you'll be able to see it on the camera. It's bad. Cross over to open up the line of the turn. The itty bitty baby pine tree looking thing up there, that's our marker. Don't go to the gate. Alright, look at this nastiness. Deep ruts. Traditionally you want to come out to the right, open it up. Godspeed to you on race day. Don't be on the aero bars there. Same is kind of true through here. This area, when I first did this race, had fresh, beautiful, smooth gravel. It's been a pine coney mess, or not a pine coney mess, but a pine needly mess with a lot of hidden roots in it. Usually, I would want to be on the aero bars here. Today, I do not trust it. You will feel though on race day like you are flying down this road. Like, I'm going 14 right now. We're usually going 18, 19, and 20. It's crazy. So when you hit those roots, they take your hands right off the bars. Here's one right here, boom. Now, I have the privilege, because I'm riding solo, to choose any line I want. You will not have that option on the first lap on race day. Just kind of buckle up and hold on. Second lap, shortest line is fastest, no matter where you are. And nobody's going to fight you for holidays end up tracking out, trying to tighten back in on that bigger pea gravel there. That whole complex repeats up ahead. Not right here, this one's pretty rough too. Roots on the left, sorry, on the right, roots on the right. Garbage when it's really wet. Might even take a pound out of the tires for that guy. I don't know. Alright, coming up to the road crossing. Carmen's loose because it's not on its usual mount. Alright. Alright. Clear and roll. Okay, so first opportunity for deviation. As I said, I've been doing this race off and on since 2016. Really actually only off 2018 and 2019. But I want to say 1 year we took this little section differently. Turn left here at this new where you are building, and that's the thing I'm gonna do. And then 1 year, I want to say we went straight toward that house. You will see why in a minute, if you have never done this course, why I would very much like to go straight toward that house. These are nasty. And then the wet, they are soupy nasty. So, again, find your line that you can work with. For me, the other day, it was outside, not inside. Definitely not inside. You see much deeper ruts over there. People trying to make that line work. And then when you come out of here, you cross that same gravel road we just got off of, and you're into basically somebody's front yard. And the ruts there are what we've always ridden for years and years. I mean to tell you, this was basically, yeah, I was pulling my tire right now. This was unusable last weekend. So I wouldn't even worry about trying to stay in that rut. Same is going to be true behind the pool. Find the space you can. Alright. Watched a couple of roots that like to hide in the shadows, especially right up here. And then we take a pretty aggressive turn to the left on some chunky gravel. So I want to be as far to the right as I possibly can. Cut across it as tight inside as I can and let the gravel track me out to the outside. Classic race car line, but here we go. You see I have that root in the middle. If you're fast, that's not a problem for you. But I'm gonna tell you what, that's a scary turn for a lot of folks. So, a lot of pine needles down here. You will not be able to see obstructions on the ground. You just kind of have to know where they are, which is great. But we're now in the area that was really sandy last year. Again, this is part of why I wanted to make this video, right? A lot of course conditions have changed. And there was significant concern before the holidays that this area would have degraded even further. And I think I was out here in like November, it was bad. I mean, like tires wandering all over the place, bad sand. And at least one good friend went down badly here in the first lap. Ended his race. I think he really didn't remember much of the race up to that point. But just right here, this was bad. It's all been filled. It's all been packed. There are some tire ruts, but it is actually smooth, fast, and I think you're gonna be fine. Wouldn't worry about coming off the gas for any of this. I'm doing it just because I'm a little bit of a chicken. But this is a great area. It's got the aero bars. Get on them, fly. You gotta trust that you can actually see the ground. Gate there. Maybe this is right like that. But anyway, it was bad. Real loose, real unpredictable. All better now. If you're lucky, somebody will come out here with a leaf blower between now and race day. Maybe they'll find another dry moment. Clean some of this up. There should not be any reason if you are operating with space to have to touch the brakes until you get to here, it might be the next one. A little bit of a left dodge takes you down toward the road. The course kind of gets a little bit tight, but for the most part, this is just gas and coast. Mostly gas. Right there on the outside. Would love to meet you up close and personal. Alright, road crossing, and then a really wet area. Okay. Yeah, there it is. There's the water. Big splash. Cross over here. Come across the turn. Do not have to be optimal. Whoa, it's deuce right there. That was wet and zippy. You don't have to be optimal with your line right here. I was confused this with another turn later. Just get through it. Ground is there, grip is there. No reason to be braking. Howdy. And then a hard right turn. A lot of over braking there, including me. And then back on the dummy bars. Again, the pine needles are pretty bad to the point where I actually had my hands ripped off the bars last weekend right after this next right turn. Just watch out for it. Alright, here we go. Another unclear right turn. But this is where you want to be. This will drag you around down to the right. And instead I got my hands ripped off the bars. I was riding in the middle of the course, and it's just not safe there right now. It was right up here. So watch for the roots. Maybe give your bars a little extra grippy love. I'm not going to be on the aero bars right here because I like not being broken. Get to the bottom of this, absolutely a confidence brake. We go left, jump 3 gears instantly, and get ready for an uphill. Oh, no confidence brake. All right, 3 gears down, brake, right turn, up. Stay far left. This time, where you go in matters. All right, I'm gonna come across here. I'm gonna try to go as far to the right as I can before dodging back left. Around this stick on the outside. I'm going to line this up, hit this tree here, come through, track out, right at that tree there. That is seconds faster than doing it any other way. Only way you can be on power coming out. All right, watch the root in the turn right here. back on the aero bars. Okay, so fun technical stuff done. We're coming up to the dam, or at least the turn for the dam. I have been informed that the dam is not being used this year. The descent, or the climb, or the run to it. And so, when you come up here, up on this road right here, instead of turning right, we will apparently be turning left. I have zero confirmation that this is true, but I have been told so. I've ridden the other way the other day. Right here, it'd be a hard right turn, and you just go. And if you've done that section before, you know it's fast, scary, and technical. This is just butter, it's easy. But what they had done, what's happened with that area, if you've ridden it anytime in the last 3 or 4 years, you know there are big ruts on the fast line turn descent down to the dam. I mean, it's like really scary. Not only are there bad deep ruts, but there's also like, not quite fist size, but certainly palm size boulders in the middle of all of it. It's a huge mess. Last year, all of that was there and it was buried in leaves, so you couldn't see anything. There was a narrow bypass line on the right. It was really hard to use it. I basically stopped racing right there. I mean, I managed to put together a 2-hour and 58-minute race. Scared to death of that section, but it could have been so much better. Anyway, I have heard that it's been removed. I have also ridden it the other day, and I will tell you, the rut is gone. The grading is done, and like I said, it's been filled with those palm-sized boulders, or whatever gravel equivalent that's called, but only on the downhill, and it's just not going to be suitable for gravel tires. Now, there is also a bypass line on the right. It is beautiful. It is pristine. It is the flattest dirt you will ever see in your life. But if it rains every day between now and race day, the park's not going to let you get on that. They're going to put tape around it. So, as I said, I have been informed that whole section is removed. And what we just did right there, coming down that little simple grassy hill, coming down onto the tarmac, means that you will not get separation here. People will not have had to climb that damn hill. That damn hill. So, the pace line that you carried up to there, you're still going to have right here. And if you're so silly and you put these stupid bars on your bike, no one's going to let you off the front. I will tell you though, if you're a seasoned roadie and you've been looking forward to this section the entire race, you're going to be a little disappointed. This is probably one of the few areas where wind can become a factor on this race. Usually not the way you want it to. And you're going to be really surprised at how fast those mountain bike guys can be with only a 32 front ring on pavement. And you're going to be really surprised, if you don't do a lot of gravel, how slow you're going to feel with your big fancy rings and fancy gravel tires. Anyway, pace lines will continue. This road is always a mile longer than I want it to be. Honestly, this bike's faster on gravel than it is here. No, my heart rate is not actually 59 BPM. Left the chest strap at home. I'm having to use this guy, which is showing 164. It's supposed to be transmitting. Oh well. that I'm close. No. So boring. If you ever wonder why Junkerman doesn't replace it, there's really nothing to replace it with. Prior to 2016, my understanding is that the course actually crossed the dam, but we haven't done that. It's time to do it. Looping the course back on itself, just taking 10 miles up into the trails I've already ridden, but doing it the wrong way. It's just not wide enough for two-way traffic. To understand why this doesn't work when I'm in aero. It's really not made better by having competition. It's just boring. Alright, now we're almost done with the gravel or the paved surface. Alright, right turn, immediate left, back onto the dirt. Over this little ridge, a couple of deep ruts, then we're going to drop, go down to the left, swing back to the right, and please don't crash there. Please don't crash there. Get out of the water. Oh, they smoothed it, even since the other day. Alright. Oh no, here it is, never mind. Okay. Down to the left, screaming fast, no brakes until you start to go right, at which point you're going to dump at least 3 gears to make the turn back uphill to the right. Don't crash to the tape, don't crash to competitors. Right here. There will be tape separating the course on 2 sides right there. 4 gears, 5 gears. This is where you'll be two-way going the opposite direction. See that bench again at the top of the hill. I'm going to two-way for about 1 kilometer, I think. We're going to make a hard right turn on the top of a really short, steep hill. Much bigger groups to be rolling through here. Unless it's too wet to have any traction. Turn here. Some people missed this. First couple years I did this race. It's been marked the last couple years, but it isn't always consistently marked. So watch out for it. Brake check here, for me anyway. Come out to this tree, take you out past the root, and then we're full gas down the hill. Use the compression of the bike, not on this hill but the next, to take the speed off. Don't use your brakes, unless it's super wet. Don't use your brakes. Here we go. No brakes. Don't brake here. Don't do it. There we go. 3 gears gone already. No brakes. Bad wet. My personal advice is to steady power this section. If you try to blast up this thing, you blow it up. Big root right here in the middle. Jig left, jog back right, and drop down on the roots. They are faster, and they line you up better. On the roots, no brakes. Wide. Line it up wide, cut across it, no brakes. Again, no brakes, jump gears. Those of you who haven't been here maybe 3 or 4 years, this was all redone, I want to say 2022, and it was so loose it was basically unrideable. It's packed in a lot better now. I still don't fully trust it. I don't should. I always lose time here, but I always do some braking here. Still a little deep in the middle there. Give up some speed. And we're going to do a hard right after this sign. Hard right. There we go. Traffic, traffic, traffic. Big roots in the road. Gates will all be open on race day. Around to the right, then down left. Same buddy who went down and broke his shoulder a few years ago at the second bridge also went down here chasing Jeremiah Bishop a couple years ago. He had cans on his aero bars here. This is too steep. Don't mess right there. This one you will see some out of the saddle action. Probably not for me. These tires are 4 years old and they're showing it. Because I'm out of the saddle right now. Okay, so if you came the year that the campgrounds were being renovated, we went straight here, turned, we're not doing that, back to the traditional route. It was a one-time thing. section. These are all really sharp and really punchy. And then for this weird off-camber turn around a tree down here to get onto a narrow bridge. And I'm sorry, I'm too old to be brave for that. So, no brake, line it up, and then rut in the middle. Watch that, it's gonna be gross. That's just gonna get worse and worse the race day. About the only place on the course where you question if you have enough gears. Especially in the second lap. Another route in the middle, right before this turn, right here. A bad one right there. Alright, smooth sailing, still barely uphill. A nice little false flat right here. Or maybe you just can't breathe. Maybe it's on the pavement for a minute. Turn at this campsite right here. I miss it almost every time. There's a little wooden pole over there. You go past that, you've gone too far. Car coming in here, so I'm going to back off a second. Face. if it's wet, there will be chicken wire down on this. There will be chicken wire down on this. All right, we're over halfway done. Yay! I'm going to take this opportunity to tell you in advance, I am not doing the walking trails. They are closed to cyclists except on race day. The first one, easy, sharp little kicker at the very end of it. The second one, though, there's some pretty serious accidents there. Talk a little bit more about that when we get closer to it. So we're going to go behind the pool. This is still soupy. The usual single rut line is bad. It's worse. Well, no, it was worse the other day. It's just going to get worse again. You're going to see people, you can already see over there on the left, a couple feet to the left of me, the new rut being worn in. All right, so we're going to slam our butts downhill. Just hold on. No brakes. This is going to be so wet and gross. I mean, you're just going to be basically swimming right here. All right. Tires are being pulled all over the place, and there's sunshine, so it's gonna be bad. Right here too. Getting pulled. I can feel my weight shifting back and forth. I'd be faster just to find a clean line on the grass, honestly. All right, high congestion area right here. Side of the course. Howdy. This rut was pretty bad coming downhill earlier. You'll see it again. You shouldn't see it coming downhill on race day because we don't come through here. Coming downhill. We'll go up here, but not down. You ever thought, hey, maybe I could park up at the courthouse lot and ride down and do the race rather than fight for a parking space? This is the reason why you don't want to do that. Especially not after the race. As much a note to me as it is to note to you. All right. Ruts again. Squirmy tires. We have a hard right turn right here. There is a route about 2 feet out. I don't see it today. You see the rut. Try to aim inside the route. Basically hug the inside of that corner. Okay, so first major deviation from race day. On race day, you will turn right here. Sharp, sharp, sharp right turn. Go onto a walking path. There's a lot of cross routes on it. There's a little section near the end. The whole thing's maybe a kilometer, maybe half that. I don't know. But there's some bigger routes, and it's a little tricky to pick an optimal line through it. And then there's this sharp turn that goes around up and to the left that gets not just sharp, but really steep. It's easy to get caught behind people there and actually have to step off the bike. So watch for that. Again, why you don't park at the top and come down. But whew, all of that trail leads you around back over that way, and then it merges back in. Not there, but up here toward the top. So it's flat for a while. There's a gentle grade to it. It's actually not as steep as this. To that last little jolt. Yeah, here it comes. Walking trail on race day, if I remember right, comes out right here. Okay. Good gravy. watch. You're still fighting for position. I see my hands come up the bar just there. That there's a lot of garbage in this line. There's a lot more garbage in that line. But I am going to cross over it. With our next turn, do another right turn. I want to be lined up properly for it. Because that turn, again, if I remember correctly, will be another really, really wet, soupy gross one. Yeah, still water in it. Ground is off camber there. It wants to push you out into the trees. Sand is really bad right here. Still really wandery in the wet. It's dry though. The race course. Tires were pulling all over the place. Balance was shifting not just left and right, but also front and back, because it was just letting go and re-grabbing again. Real messy. If you're having trouble orienting yourself, we are behind the part where the bell lap starts to merge back in. Coming up to where it crosses. Chunk out here. Big, big, big rocks. Descent line, drop line. Hard. Then you look down, you see you're going over 300 watts. bike to door. This area is just gray. Like the grass is gray, the ground, the trees are gray, the dirt, everything's gray. A little bit of rutting as we hear. Not used to seeing that. The leaf cover here is not normal, so having only a very skinny, visible trail to it, kind of can't see what's in the other parts. So experience tells me it's not much there. Hard to travel, like hard to figure out where the actual trail edges are. Coming out to the second two-way traffic section out on this course. Once you crest this falls flat here, drop down to make a slight right. There'll be tape up between the two lanes of traffic here the entire way. Until somebody hits it. Alright, here we go over the crest. Down the hill. And then slight right. Hard right up here at the end of this. These turns are really easy when there's no tape up between them. Maybe 6 inches high of really deep loose gravel that has bedded in now. I think it's right after this next left turn. But you can hold this right side line, rail these turns, never come out of arrow, barely have to shift. Brave enough to do this one without coming out of arrow, but you can. Used to be a bump right here. Back to speed again. Right, here's that second left. Wait, is that right? No, it's not. Nope, nope, nope. See? Aha! Gotta keep going straight. Right? Forget about that all the time. Do that every time. Double poles, then double poles again. Then turn. Every time. I'll do that on race day. There's my second set of double poles. I will never learn. So I'm going to come over here. It's a right turn. I want to line it up. This one wasn't as bad the other day. Wasn't as much water in it, but who knows. Right. More pine needles. These have been slippery in the past. They really aren't right now. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because there aren't as many of them. But should basically be able to get back up to speed. I know there's a couple of roots hiding over here. There's one. I don't like to go over those in arrow. There's the other. Alright. Oh, third one, bonus one, fourth one, fifth one. Maybe not arrow. Okay, I think our patch area is right here. Here it is. Yeah. This was very difficult a couple years ago. Fixed. Okay, so astute observers will note that because we did not do the dam descent, holy crap, did not do the water crossing. We're about to do the north side water crossing, and it was really deep the other day. Like, just barely kept my shoes out of it. And I said it before, every race, skinny tires, I have been well informed, we need to stay right. There is now a deep water rock in there. So make sure you try to give a little lift on the bars as you enter the water, because I have, unfortunately, a guy right behind me a couple years ago went over the bars right there. So you don't want to be wet, or wetter than you're going to be on race day. Probably in the rain. Little lift there, stay right, get through there smooth. We are almost done with this lap, sort of ish. Finley Station Loop, the last major significant portion, final, straight, finish, sprint, fine. Again, we won't do the second walking trail either. But this area up here used to be, every year, notorious for basically being a swimming pool. Everything from this left turn on was underwater. And mad props to the trail maintenance teams, because it's dry. It rained yesterday. It rained over an inch yesterday, and it's dry. They're out here doing alchemy. But there is still some water. It's not standing water. If you had told me 5 years ago that this could be dry, I mean, like, no, I wouldn't have believed it. Flat out. Alright, I just lost one camera. Oh well. see it, but it's there. Needs to carry a lot more turn, or a lot more speed, sorry, into this turn up here, which unfortunately means, oh no it doesn't. Ooh, it's a gas day. But this part right here will still be wet. It's still wet. nothing major between here and the end. The usual wet spots will still be wet. part that cuts behind the bell return side. Cuts through it anyway. And underwater. On race day, the second walking trail had a slight revision to it last year, where the long descent before the first creek crossing no longer dumps you straight down to it. Kind of goes to a tight right turn wall, like an actual, like there's a structure at the end of it. Kind of takes all your speed away. So when you make that crossing, you try to do that really tight little uphill left. It's all power now. There's no bringing any momentum into it. I have griped in the past that second walking trail has hurt too many people. It shouldn't be included. While I still stand by that, the options aren't great because it's too wet to be there. The blueberry drop line will not be open. And you do not want to take the line down to parking lot that I will take today in a race. People will get hurt. It's just too steep, it's too fast. The ground's a little too loose in a couple spots. And people are trying to claw back positions. I think it's too much of a recipe for potential harm. So, second walking trail, oh my god, I'm not looking forward to that. That's where my race usually goes to die. Official training course lap. What I'm on right now is not part of the MonsterCross lap. I think I called that out in last year's video too, but this would be hot garbage to go down fast. Big rocks. We haven't even gotten to the drop line yet. Which would be two-way traffic here anyway, so not bad. Alright. This is what I would not want to do on race day at speed. Maybe you'd be fine with it. Maybe some people would. Somebody would get hurt. Sure. traffic. It's not worth the risk. And that's it. A lap of MonsterCross. Oh boy. Cool. So, thanks for joining. It's an exhausting thing to do. Anyway, thanks for joining. Hopefully the weather will cooperate. Get at least one lap in. It's gonna be real soupy, but with any luck, take home some intact bikes and have some awesome stories to tell. Hope to see you there.